Okay, stream seems to be finally stable. Hopefully it will stay that way. So yeah, I also interrupted the recording by accident, so I'll just redo the player's introduction. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I had to restart everything again. Seems to be stable now, so that's something. Okay, so our two players for today are going to be Pl0tterGhost, player from the Netherlands, at around 1500 hero-wise. His opponent is going to be Nope, player from India. Now, Nope, it doesn't say here what his hero is, but if I'm not mistaken, he is around 1300, something like that. So, slight disadvantage hero-wise when it comes to Nope, but both of them have played in the league for a long time now, so they're both veterans, and Nope has shown that he's able to actually take games from higher rated opponents, so it shouldn't be an issue for him. Okay, so let's look at the draft. I'll just say in chat. Yeah, we're not dropping frames anymore. Yeah, it seems to be stable now. Oof. Okay, so map-wise, we have Oasis as our map for game 1. So this was played in round 1 of this first spring. And for game 2, we have Mongolia, which we already saw in another set. I think it was Lordek. I forget against who he was. But I remember Lordek, he went Spanish on that one and had a castle drop, a sneaky castle drop on his opponent. So that was a fun game. Now, Civ-wise, we have the usual 5 random bands. So Burgundians, Britons, Aztecs, Georgians, and Goths. And as for player bans, we have Byzantines and Mongols from Pl0tterGhost, very strong picks, whereas Nope opted for Armenians and Khmer, which I would say are strong picks as well, right? Khmer, they're very flexible due to their bonus, whereas Armenians, we saw yesterday that the longsword play can have some potential, so I like that he banned those. Now, after getting Vietnamese sniped, Pl0tterGhost was left with Persians, Bulgarians, and Spanish. Nope, on the other hand, after getting the Koreans sniped, he was left with Chinese, Ethiopians, and Berbers. Pretty strong drafts overall. I slightly prefer Pl0tterGhost, simply because he has Persians, he has Bulgarians, and, well, in Spanish, yeah, they're powerhouses, right? And Bulgarians, I think, can be very strong on these settings. Nope, on the other hand, I mean, it's not like these are bad civs, right? It's just for these settings, I probably prefer these 3. But that's just me. Also, hi Jasuki, welcome. Yeah, I had some issues at the start of the stream. I had to restart it a couple of times because I kept dropping frames, so that's what happened. But yeah, it seems to be fine now. So let's just jump into the first game, which again is going to be on Oasis. Okay, is it showing? Please tell me it's showing. Yeah, it is. And here we are. So we have Ethiopians here for Nope in the teal, and we have Persians from Pl0tterGhost here in the red. Now, since this is the first set of the day, let's do a little refresh when it comes to win conditions. As you can see, we have kings. So this is played on regicide. If your king dies, you lose the game. It's also played on sudden death mode, so if the TC goes down, you lose the game. Each player starts with this fortified tower. There's one for each player. They are on opposite sides of the map. Now, if this tower goes down, you lose the game. As you can see, the fortified tower is surrounded by walls. This layer of palisades It's always the same, no matter the map. The outer layer is randomized, so you can have palisades, you can have fortified palisades, you can have stone walls, and you can have stone walls, fortified stone walls. Now, this is also played as King of the Hill, so you have a monument in the middle of the map. Take control of that, it starts a countdown, 550 years. Once that countdown reaches 0, the player who has control of the monument wins the game, basically. And to all of that, you need to add the fact that Alchemy League is played on standard victory, meaning that going for relic victory and wonder victory is a viable strat. Although I doubt we're going to be seeing that in this season. We saw that in previous seasons, but on this one you have more immediate win conditions with the tower and the TC and the king, so I doubt we're going to be seeing wonder or relic victory. We saw monument victory, actually, but yeah. So, let's talk civs. Persians, they have great eco, they have a great start because they have extra resources at the start and their TCs work faster, which is especially good on sudden death settings because, well, you cannot build extra TCs, so having your only TC working faster is actually pretty damn good. Now, Ethiopians, on the other hand, they do not have the Persian crazy eco. They do get extra resources once they advance throughout the ages. But that's it, right? That's their only eco bonus. Now, that said, they are an archer civ. And generally speaking, archer civs, they can play 1 TC with no problems, right? Whereas Persians, being more of a cavalry civ, you normally want to have a better eco behind that. So overall, if this was to play out in a standard way, I wouldn't say that Persians, despite being very good on these settings, would have the upper end. Now that said, we do have extra settings. Oh, also forgot to mention that players, they do not start with a scout, they start with a petard, which can be useful if you're going to attack the towers and whatnot. So, we do have fortified walls, so I don't think we're going to be seeing any kind of feudal pressure from either player. This is probably going to go to Castle Age, and players will play it out during that age. Okay, so Pl0tterGhost is going for a fast feudal. Now, I did say... Oh. Wait a second, how much HP did it take? How many HP did that take? Goes from 38. Oh, 25. Oh, yeah, because they have 25 attack. Of course. So, no kind of wastes. He's bettered on the opponent's bettered. I guess he was expecting that it would deal extra damage to other pettards, but wait, why do pettards? Oh yeah, because of Lightis, yeah. But yeah, pettards, they do not have bonus damage against other pettards, apparently. And so that's not going to be an option. Let me ban the bot in chat real quick. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. Oh, hey, nope. Welcome. Oh, you didn't notice that you attacked the petard. Okay. So, you probably changed the attack stance of the petards, because petards, they spawn on no attack stance. And Pl0tterGhost? Okay, so Pl0tterGhost says, okay, I'm going feudal, I'm going for militia, and I'm going for man-at-arms, but he kind of got wolves chasing him. So now he needs to deal with those with the TC. It's actually quite smart of him to go for the TC to clean up the wolves. But the thing is, you... Yeah, sure, you're going to get man-at-arms, but you're not breaking through fortified walls, right? And even if you use the petard there, a petard is not going to break through fortified walls. So I'm not too sure what the plan is here. Now, Nope, on the other hand, he's up to castle. Okay. Okay, he's going for stone. So this is going to be a castle drop on Nope, on Pl0tterGhost tower. We saw this work in other sets. People just, you know, rushing that castle and taking down the tower, because the tower goes down very quickly to a castle. Now, Pl0tterGhost is switching to light cav. Yeah. And he's going to find out that, nope, you cannot take down fortified walls with militia. Or rather, with the petard. Okay, so now he's going to be switching. He's going to go with scouts to Nope's base. But, I mean, Nope, I think he saw those scouts, right? Oh, actually... he might have not have seen them. Let's see. Oh yeah, he doesn't know about the scouts. Oh yeah, unless Pl0tterGhost showed them earlier on. Nope, doesn't. Oh, I think he did show them, right? Because we got the spears. So either he saw them, or he's just sending the spears just in case. Ooh, look at that. That's very nice. So, Nope stopped mining stone at 550. He didn't have that much gold, but he knew that getting to Castle Age he would get the free gold. And he calculated that that extra gold would be enough to buy 100 stone. And now he's going forward. I mean, he's got 16 vills. He's got a pike, because Ethiopians, they do get pikemen for free. So this castle is going up. Pl0tterGhost, he's got 2 scouts. Even if this pike was not here, he was not going to deny this castle. Scout goes down to the pike. Second one will as well. Nope, oh, he didn't even get loom. Okay, Nope is crazy. But yeah, Nope is going to take down the tower. And this is going to be GG. Very quick game, but that's what you should be expecting this season of the league. Oh, the castle is actually attacking the scout. Okay, no, it will go back to attacking the tower. So, Nope takes the first game, and actually, I like the Ethiopian pick now that I look at it. Because, I mean, that extra food and gold are very nice if you're going for a fast castle. And you already have a barracks. And you get pikemen for free. So if you can get a couple of spears like he did on his way to Castle Age, the moment he gets here, they're great support if your opponent is going scouts. So yeah, Ethiopians might actually want to be one of the scary civs in these settings, honestly. Because wait, how fast was that Castle Age time? So he was up to castle at 12:55. Let's say. So he got to castle 4 minutes after Pl0tterGhost was up to feudal. I mean, Pl0tterGhost would have to go archers probably to stop the pressure, but even then, you might need, I don't know, I think you need something like at least 6 archers with fletching. I don't know if you can have them by the time Nope gets here with 19 vills. Right, and even if you have them, you would have to micro properly and constantly pick villagers to get them away from the castle, so you would constantly have to change targets. Yeah, Ethiopians might be a very strong pick for these settings. Now, I don't know how many people are going to be watching the cast or the Rex, but if people see this kind of thing, they should probably start banning the Ethiopians or picking them themselves. Because this was very strong. Yeah, I agree, Jasuki. You have to go archers. If you're expecting especially if you're expecting a castle drop. Because yeah, you're never going to be picking off villagers with scouts, especially when players start with the barracks. So they can still go for the usual market blacksmith build for castle, but they still will have the pikes, or at least spearmen to support. So if they have like 2 spearmen and I don't know 20 vills, even if you have 10 scouts, I think that castle is still going up, right? So yeah, I agree with you on that. And honestly, this also goes back to what I was saying at the start, right? It's easier to go archers if you're planning on playing 1 TC. So you might as well go archers in feudal and keep doing that in castle age and so on. I mean, if eagles were not that slow to produce, I would say that maybe eagle play could be doable to counter the castle and maybe to do some damage. But yeah, it's not realistic. Okay. So that was a quick one. Let's load up game 2. Let's take a look at that. Now, game 2 is going to be on Mongolia. And we have Spanish from Pl0tterGhost against Chinese from Nope. Again, we have stone walls, not palisades. So this time they're not fortified, so a single Pl0tter will be able to take down a piece of wall. So if players wanted to, they could use the Pl0tter to break through the stone wall. I think they were talking about the sheep. Yeah, so I was mentioning this the other time, but these maps they're using, the scraps that these maps are using remind me of older scripts where sheep could be very far away from your TC, especially the starting ones, which is not great for Chinese now that I think about it, because you're going to have quite a bit of idle TC time, as we can see here. But I mean, if you loaded up the game a couple of times in the editor, you would know that. So honestly, it's on the players. So yeah, we have Spanish from Pl0tterGhost. As I was mentioning, Lordek played them on this map and had a very good castle drop. Spanish, of course, can do that very well because they build faster. So even if you intercept the vills, there's a good chance that the castle is still going up. Chinese, on the other hand, we've seen them a couple of times. And normally we've seen them played in kind of a vill rushy way. Because you start with extra vills, you just get loom, maybe you make some, I don't know, 5 more vills, and then you just rush the enemy tower. That makes the games very quick. But we do have stone walls, so I don't think that's what Nope is going to be doing. On the other hand, though, I think we saw them played in a more standard approach. In Shikso against Raid, where Raid played them kind of a standard way. So he just played feudal, he went up to castle, he castle dropped his opponent, but not on the tower, on the TC. And then we had this crazy exchange between the two players because Raid had castles on Shixo's DC. Shixo had a siege push on Raid's DC. It was an insane game. It's game 2 from their set. If you have a chance, go watch it because that was very good. And I feel like I'll be talking about that game for the rest of the tournament, for the rest of the season, unless we get a crazier game on our hands. So, sorry in advance if I'm going to do that. But it was just that good. Okay, so build-wise, 2 on wood from Pl0tterGhost. So this should not be a fast castle, by the looks of it. Same from Nope. Pl0tterGhost, he killed the boar at a weird distance from the TC, but I mean, that happens. Also, he took control of the monument, so the countdown started. Now, even if control changes of the monument, the countdown will not stop. It will not reset. But if it gets lower than 100 years and control changes, then it will reset to 100 years. Okay, nice find from Nope, getting those deers. And he should be able to click up in a moment there. Actually, both players are missing the food. Yeah, I guess being late to finding the sheep. And well, in Pl0tterGhost's case, killing the board that far away from the TC kind of slowed down their up times. Yeah, Nope is all up. He's got this food income from the deers. He's still got some sheep, so he should be fine. He will not have to switch to farms that early on. He is on gold and wood, which tells me he's going to go for archers. Now, Pl0tterGhost is on gold as well. He's getting loom just now, so he's preparing to go up. And yeah, he's going out for a mill himself to get that deer. Oh, actually, he's going for a second meal over here. Well, third meal overall. I mean, that's going to be good, but he needs to be careful not to get caught by Nope's archers here. Wait, is it actually feudal prey from Nope? It might be fast castle again, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was looking at resources and, I mean, just 3 on gold, that's not enough to sustain range production. But it is what you would expect from a fast castle when you get loom. So yeah, Nope is going to be able to click up to castle. He's not even adding villagers because he knows he probably doesn't need to. There we go. Castle. Now, Nope is not going to stone. Oh, just as I say that. Yeah, I was about to say he's not going to stone, so this might be a rocket car push on the tower. Rocket cars are actually insane against buildings because they ignore armor. But yeah, this is going to be another castle drop from Nope. Who is just thinking, well, it worked game 1. Let's see if it can work again. Now, this time around, Pl0tterGhost does have an archer range, and he might be making archers any moment now. But I think it's too late. Yeah, it's going to be 2 archers out by the time that Nope gets to castle. Even if he gets flat chain. If Nope sends everyone, that castle is going up. And he should be sending everyone, right? Because if that castle goes up, he basically wins the game. Ooh, actually, you know what? Okay. We were talking about how archers are a better option to defend from a castle drop with the bills. But what about keeping your petard around this area? You see the villagers coming, you know where the castle is going to go up. As soon as they hit it, as soon as the villagers hit it, you just attack it with the petard. They would lose the castle. Right, because it takes 8 petards to take down a castle. So... yeah, tower goes down and this is going to be GG. I think Pl0tterGhost actually deleted the tower there. But yeah, I think if you hit the castle with the petard when it is at... I don't know... 1/6? Yeah, it should be, right? Yeah, so 1 petard should do 600 damage to the castle. So, yeah, I mean, you should be able to take down the foundations quite quickly if you react in time. But yeah, Nope. Again, he says, well, this worked game 1, it is going to work again, and it actually works, and takes the set to 2-0. Yeah, nobody left behind to build the castle. Nobody. Because after all, this is the win condition. Again, if this goes up, you win the game, so you might as well use everything just to make sure that you win. I mean, if you send 23 vills and you lose 22, but the castle goes up and you're left with 1 vill, you still win the game, so, you know, might as well go crazy. Okay. So, yeah, quick set. This is the kind of strategy that we've seen in other sets as well. I expect it to work, at least during Sprint 1, and then I think in Sprint 2 people will have figured out how to counter it, and we'll probably see longer games. Or, well, no, maybe we'll still see short games, but that's not because the castle goes up, but because people manage to counter the castle and just have the other player resign because they didn't manage to take down the tower. Okay, so that was the first set for today. Let's go back to the drafts and see what the second set is going to be. Okay, so second set of today, we have Metalmania against Bender and Chill. Now, Metalmania, he is a player from Argentina. He's currently rated 1500, but as you can see, he has a maximum elo of 1650. He has played in the league for a while now. This might be his 5th season, if I'm not mistaken. So at this point, yeah, he's got tons of experience. Now, his opponent, Bender and Chill, he is a player from Peru. Slightly lower elo than Metalmania. There's about a 100 elo difference, both in the current rating and the maximum one. Now, BenderGC, this is not his first season in the league. He's played with us before. I think it's his second, if I'm not mistaken. So, not as much experience as Metalmania, but he's not a total newcomer to the league. So, he should be able to give us a fair fight. Give us a good fight. Sorry, not a fair fight. Okay, so as our map for game 1, we have Island. So this was played in round 2. And for our second game, we are going to have Arabia. Now, civ-wise, we have Tatars, Berbers, Saracens, and Franks, with Bohemians as our random enemy bans. And Metalmania, he went on to ban Mongols and Lithuanians, whereas BenderGC banned Ethiopians and Georgians. Actually, Ethiopian was a random ban, which is nice to see considering the set we just saw with Nope. So probably he doesn't realize how lucky he was. Now, Metalmania, he went for Italians, Aztecs. Okay, I like to see that. And Spanish. He actually picked Japanese as well, but they got sniped. BenderGC, he went for Goths, Bulgarians, Celts, and Dravidians, but Goths got sniped. Now, funnily enough, I don't think Goths is the scariest one of these civs, right? Because all of Bender's picks, they scream, I'm going to go militia, I'm going to go man-at-arms and rush you. And honestly, I could see why people would think Goths are the scariest. But I would argue that Bulgarians or Dravidians are actually scarier, right? Because the thing is, Goths do not get arson. So in Feudal Age, yeah, you might have like one militia more than your opponent. More than other civs, but other civs will actually have arson. Also, Bulgarians, they get man-at-arm upgrade for free. Dravidians get the barracks upgrades for cheaper, 50% cheaper. So I think, considering the amount of militia you're going to be making, it kind of balances out the Goth bonus, or even overtakes it. Dravidians also have that 200 extra wood when they get to the next stage, which should be helpful for fast castle builds, if you see fortified walls or stone walls. So yeah, overall, I think Goths look scarier than they actually are. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, Metalmania, he's got insane sets as well, right? Italians and Spanish, if you want to go for some kind of fast castle builds, Italians have bonuses which make it easier. Spanish, you do not have bonuses making it easier, but I mean, the moment you get to castle and you start building that castle, it's going up because of the build bonus. So yeah, nice picks from both sides. Let's see. Let's jump into the game and see what they have in store for us. Ooh, Bender likes FC strats, phosphorus style. I mean, I've seen people actually go fast castle Wood Raiders before. It's not easy to do because, well, it's a food unit, so it's actually harder to keep on producing. But I've seen people do that, so maybe that's what he was thinking, or maybe he's just changing his game plan for this tournament. But anyway, we have Highland. We can see we have a fortified palisade generation, so feudal play is going to be viable. We have Dravidians from BenderGC. He is already going for the dock, which is interesting. It's doable, right? He's going that dock is going to double as a house, so he's not going to get a house anytime soon, and he can just take stragglers to then go to wood. Now, we actually saw this approach from Oladushik yesterday. Granted, he was killed here on island, and he went for the dock straight away as well. And he never built a lumber camp, right? He was just taking the stragglers. He made like 5 fishing ships, and then he could just send the villagers to fight the opponent's Vil Rush. That was actually interesting. But anyway, Metalmania on the other hand, playing in the grey as the Italians. As I mentioned, great save if you want to fast castle. There's water, so they're an amazing water save. So great choices from both sides. Now, seeing these palisades makes me wonder whether we'll be seeing some kind of infantry play from Bender and Chill in Feudal Age. Okay, he actually opts for a fishing ship before going for the lumber camp, and he... Okay. Did Bender watch Oladushik's set? I will have to check whether this set was played before or after Oladushik's, but this is the same exact approach, right? Okay, no, he's going for a lumber camp now. Oladushik got to 5 fishing ships without building a lumber camp, which was insane. Okay, Metalmania, he's not going for a dock. Wait a moment, what? Oh, he's going for feudal. That's an insanely tight build. 15 Vils. Did he get loom? Okay, yeah, 15 Vils plus loom. Up to feudal. Now, he's not going for gold. I mean, it's doable on these settings because one of your up buildings is going to be the barracks, which you already have. So you just need a lumber camp. And he's going for stone now? Is he going to trash? Is he going to trash his opponent's tower? I think he is. Yeah. I mean, I like it. I personally think that if you're going to rush your opponent's tower in feudal, even with, I don't know, infantry, sending some Vils to build a tower as support is a great play. But yeah, there it is. There it is. A tower. The second tower. So let's see what Bender is going to do. Now, the issue for Metalmania is that if Bender notices this, he could just send all of his Vils to fight, right? Just take down the towers. And even if he loses them, he's not going to be carrying because he's got fish. So he's going to have a way to make more villagers. Okay, he's now adding militia. Okay, the towers are actually attacking the houses, which is good for him. Metalmania, he is walling up around the towers so that they cannot be rushed. Actually, yeah, you need to wall the corners as well. Otherwise, your opponent can just attack them through the corners. He's going to have... Yeah, he's got a Vil over here repairing. Did he go? Okay, yeah, he went to stone. Just a militia. Is he waiting for... Okay, yeah, now he's going to gold. I think he's just going to be repairing the tower until he gets a decent number of men-at-arms, and then he's going to be rushing his opponent's tower. I think, yeah, I don't think this one ranges Bender's tower. Okay, Metalmania is sending more vills to build a third tower. Okay. Sure, there's 2 militia, but they're not going to be able to do that much. Especially when there's 2 towers behind with vills. Oh yeah, this is a good approach from Metalmania. Holy. Yeah, I mean, Metalmania heavily invested in towers, but to be honest, yeah, Bender is reacting now with the villagers, but he should have done that before. Because this tower is going to eventually go down. Wait, it's not... Yeah, it's not being attacked. It's not being attacked because the hitbox on these towers is weird. So if you try to attack them, you will actually end up attacking the palisade behind. And so once that goes down, the tower does not go back to attacking the tower. It goes on to attack more palisades. So yeah, Metalmania, he... Yeah. I mean, it's something you need to track, right? Now, luckily, because Bender is sending vills, Metalmania will be attacking them with the towers. So eventually, once the vills go down, the towers will automatically go back to attacking the enemy tower. But yeah, Bender lost a lot here, but again, he's got fishing ships. So he shouldn't care too much. Because both of them are going to lose a lot here, right? The thing is, this was Metalmania's whole game plan. Whereas for Bender, it wasn't. So at the end of the day, if they both lose all vills here, the one who's going to be in a losing position is going to be Metalmania, not Bender. And sure, at the moment, Bender is actually behind in vills, right? It's 24 against 19. But... what? It's 7 vills in the towers plus 2. So 9 of those vills are just idle here. And the others are just taking random resources. Whereas Bender does have a properly built eco. Right? He's taking fish. Well, not for long, because they're going to be inefficient in a moment. But he's fine. He's going to complete the archer range. That's nice. Now, the archers are not going to help against the towers unless he puts them in the tower. But if he just camps this area, he can prevent more vills coming from Metalmania. So that's a good choice. He needs to repair the tower, though. Bender? Bender, repair the tower. You got vills, repair the tower, please. Okay, okay, okay. Just in time, just in time. But we got another tower from Metalmania. Yeah, Metalmania is never going to stop here with towers. Okay, Bender, though, he's getting closer and closer to Castle Age. If he had a market here, he could probably click Castle. And with the amount of stone he has, he could maybe go and drop a castle on his opponent's tower. And Metalmania would have no way to counter that. If Bender can keep this tower up with the repairs, I think it's fine. He's losing the vills though. Needlessly. Oh yeah, he was not paying attention. He's got no more vills here to repair. Yeah, this suddenly got worse. And Metalmania takes the game. Yeah, I think if he's careful and keeps on repairing the tower, maybe send even more vills. You don't really care at this point if you got 5 vills here, as long as the tower stays up. I think if he does that, he eventually gets to castle and can drop a castle on his opponent's tower. But yeah. Well played for Metalmania. That was an insane rush. And he is already showing us that people can have very different approaches to this kind of settings. Right, people will tend to go. Some people will go for man at arms. Some people will go for castle drops. Some people will just go and play this one standard. And he just opts for a tower rush, which worked out. Nicely played. So are Teutons the new meta on these maps, or? Yeah, and actually the tower rush gives you... Yeah, I was just thinking, tower rushing actually gives you a way to deal with the tower in Feudal Age, even when there's, you know, fortified walls, right? So, in a situation when your opponent is 100% going for a castle drop, because it's fortified walls, so there's no point. If you go for a tower rush and you're fast enough, you might be able to pull it off. Granted, now you need then to be careful to have something to protect your own tower, because it takes a while for towers to take down this fortified tower. But yeah, that was a nice game. Also, keep in mind that Bender and Chill already had a vill on that tower, building a house at the start of the game when Metalmania got there with the towers. If that vill is not there, doing some, you know, repairs at the start, I think that tower goes down way quicker. But yeah, let's go game 2. Which is going to be on Arabia. And we have Aztecs from Metalmania against Bulgarians from Bender and Chill. And again, we have a fortified palisade situation. So we might see some Feudal Age action again. Ooh, actually that's a nice tower from the Mesocivs. We have the Byzantine Wonder as our monument. So, Aztecs, you do not see them that often nowadays. They're still one of my favorite civs. But, yeah, power creep has not been nice to them. So they tend to not be picked as much by people, especially in 1v1s and team games. Well, mostly in team games. You sometimes see people pick them in 1v1s, but tournament team games are just never picked. Unless you have arena-style maps and one player wants to go Monk Siege. But then again, there are better civs to do that. Bulgarians, just like Aztecs, they do not see that much play. Probably even less than Aztecs. They used to see some play in Empire War settings a couple of years ago, because people were just going for instant man at arms into towers and stuff like that. But nowadays, yeah, you don't see that as often. Also, it helped in Empire Wars that your blacksmith upgrades are cheaper and come in faster. So you start Empire Wars, you start the game with a blacksmith, so you can instantly get your scout upgrades and just go scouts, and they're going to be pretty strong. Okay, Metalmania going for the second boar. Again, a single villain lumber on wood, so this, again, might be a lightning quick uptime. We need to keep an eye on him. If he goes to stone again, then that's going to be telling. Ooh, actually, if this was not, you know, a league game and this was, you know, standard ranked game, this map generation would be awful. All of his resources are in this area. Of course, he doesn't need to be worrying about that because I don't think he's going to be spending much time in his own base, but yeah. Yeah, there's Loom. Oh yeah, he's going to pull it off. Is he? Yeah? There he goes. Yeah, he's going to send more to wood. Does he know where his stone is? Yeah, he does, he does. Oh, the villagers going to the... I hate when they do that. This has been happening for a couple of patches now. I hate when villagers do that. It's also not easy to collect the proper tree sometimes, unless you have good mods for that. Okay, he's not on stone, and he's making militia, so no, this does not seem like it's going to be towers. Yeah, it's just going to be men at arms, isn't it? Men at arms, you use the petard. I think due to this being fortified palisades, you need 5 men at arms with arson. If you have that, I think you break through and you just destroy the tower quite easily. But we'll see. Yeah, he's going for 5. Now Bender, seeing that uptime, might be looking at his own tower and thinking, wait, where's the towers? Where's the towers? But yeah, there's no towers coming this time around from Metalmania. Oh, he's actually going for the bait, for the... Okay, no, he stopped. Okay, there's men at arms. Now he needs to be careful. Oh, he's going for the opponent's base instead. Is he? Oh yeah, he's going for the berries. This is going to be a slaughter. One will down. Oh, no loom from Bender and Chill. Holy. I like how he's using the king to scout out his opponent's base. Ooh, careful. Careful there. Yeah, Bender now getting loom. We need arson. We need arson if we're going for this. Okay, and he's going to be adding archers. So Metalmania, he just went for a lightning fast uptime, followed up by standard play. Bender and Chill going for a market. He's on stone. I mean, I talked about the man-at-arm potential from Bulgarians, but they do have access to the Crepust as well, which might be a very good option for them. Actually, hold on. If you're playing towards a fast castle build, as Bulgarians. It's actually better because you do not need to put as many vills on stone, right? Because a crab post is 350 stone. So you can have an actual econ, food and gold. So you can go forward, drop the crab post, but at the same time you can have man-at-arms in your own barracks, which are going to become longsword the moment you hit Castle Age. And you can use those to defend, right? You can be aggressive and defend at the same time. Oh, hi Bender, welcome. Yeah, I could see the confusion because, well, you wouldn't expect this amount of man-at-arms to be here. You would expect them to be here, right? But yeah, you're up now. You need to be careful to not lose this. Okay, you're going to run with the bills. Ooh, but there's archers now. Yeah. So Bender has no access to resources at the moment. Because of the archers and the man-at-arms. He's going to run with the vills. Let's see if Metalmania sees that. He should. Ooh, no, he stops. Okay, he sees the villagers. Yeah, he's chasing. Yeah, Bender might be screwed here. The king cannot attack. He doesn't believe in violence. But the villagers do, so they're chasing the archers. No fletching, so it's not the end of the day. It's not the end of the world, sorry. Wait, it says Bender has some... Okay, he was taking wood from there. Okay, Metalmania is not careful and loses the archer. Wait, Bender had 100 wood. Where did it go? Oh, he sold it. Now going for the stone. I mean, if you can get enough stone for a tower. Better kill the archer. That's nice. Yeah, with 10 more wood, you can just drop the... You can just drop a mining camp here. So the stone will go into your resource pile, but yeah. Yeah, fletching is in. Many of these vills are weak. Yeah, this is GG, I think. I mean, Bender down to 13 vills. And he cannot move out, right? Metalmania is skulking around here. And Bender, yeah, calls the GG. Okay, so Metalmania takes this set 2-0. Second game, the play was not as crazy as the first one. Still, it paid off. Oh, he was actually making houses here. He was probably afraid of a castle drop from the Bulgarians. Yeah, Metalmania did not rush the tower. He did that in the first game, and then he went for a build with the same uptime. Probably as a mind game, right? He probably thought, well, I'm going to be up at the same time, so my opponent is going to be thinking that I'm rushing their tower, when in reality I'm not. I'm going for their base. So yeah, that was a very good play. GG's. Now, I still think that Bender and Chill had a chance here, right? I think if he stonewalled behind the house and maybe dropped the tower on the stone, then he still has access at least to wood and stone. You go up to castle, you drop maybe first crab post at home just to secure those resources, and then you just rush everything to take down the tower with a crab post. That's probably doable, but yeah, it was not an easy game. It definitely wasn't. Okay, so let's go to our third set of the day, which is going to be WeanDinchester against AngelR. Now, 2 words about these players. WeanDinchester, German player, currently rated at 2k3, slightly higher reload than the one he's sitting at right now. But yeah, he is one of the top players in the league, elo-wise. And he's been playing with us for a long time. I'm not sure he played every single season, but maybe he skipped one at most. So yeah, he is a veteran at this. Now, AngelR. Oh, he's Austrian living in Germany. Okay. Yeah, the side is going to be showing the state you live in, of course. Yeah, okay. Now, his opponent is going to be AngelR, who I might be wrong, but I think is a newcomer to the league. Currently sitting at 2k1 elo, but he does have a highest of 2k2, and he is a player from Colombia. And actually, we've had a lot of players from Colombia. So there's him, there's Yo Soy Pacho. Who else? There was another one, Ragnar. He's from Colombia, if I'm not mistaken. Who else? I think Chanchilaru. Chanchilaru is from Colombia. Let me check real quick. I do not want to. No, wait. No. Sorry. Chanchilaru is from Chile. Yeah. Sorry, Chanchilaru. If you're watching this, I'm so sorry. But yeah, we've had other players. I'm forgetting the names, but I know we've had a lot of Colombian players. Yeah. Yo Soy Pacho and Ragnar are Colombian, but there's another one from Ragnar's same. Actually, a high elo player who's from the same clan as Ragnar. But yeah, I'm just. Oh, Snappy. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you, Tech. And it's okay. Yeah, Numa. Yeah, Numa. Yeah, that's the clan I was thinking about. Okay, so again, AngelR, I think it's his first season, so he's going to be at a disadvantage both elo-wise and experience-wise. But I mean, that should not matter too much because again, the settings we have for the current season are quite different from the ones we had in previous seasons. So we'll see. Sorry, not that one. Okay, so map-wise, again, we have Oasis as our map for game 1. So this was played in round 1. For our second game, we're going to have Highland. And it seems to me that a lot of people are leaving Highlands, well, Arabia, Mongolia open, instead of going for other maps like, I don't know, I haven't seen Arena yet. It's the map of the round for round 3. So in future streams, we're going to be seeing a lot of that. But yeah, Arena, Black Forest, nobody's leaving those open, which is interesting. Same for Gold Rush. Saltmarsh, I think I've seen a couple of games. Maybe the ones SnoweyViking casted were on Saltmarsh, though I might be mistaken. But yeah. Oh well, now that I think about it, Highland was also the map of the round for round 2, so of course we're seeing a lot of that. Anyway, Civ-wise, we have usual 5 random bands: Saracens, Bengalis, Slavs, Mayans, and Vietnamese. We saw Haro with the Bengalis yesterday, which was quite nice. Dinchester went on to ban Persians and Dravidians and sniped the Berbers from AngelR. Whereas AngelR banned Britons and Mongols and sniped Spanish. That leaves WeanDinchester with Celts, Armenians, and Georgians, whereas AngelR is left with Chinese, Burgundians, and Khmer. Now, I'll say something that I've been thinking about since the start of the tournament. Well, since I started casting the game, sorry. I think this season has potential for Britons, right? Because Oasis has a ton of sheep. I haven't tried that, but I believe you could pull off some crazy fast castle build with Britons on Oasis if you wanted to. Hi Otter. Yeah, game 2 was amazing. I've been talking about it since I casted it. It's probably going to be the best game of the season. At least in my book, it is the best game of the season up to now. Hopefully there's going to be better games than that one in the future. But yeah, it is at the moment the best game of the season, in my opinion. Okay, so that's the draft. Let's load up the game and jump straight into it. Oh, you missed my answer because of the ads. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was saying that it is definitely, up until now, the best game of the season. Hopefully we'll get even better games, but yeah, I think it's going to be difficult to top that one. And I think ever since I casted it, I've been referring people to that game just because of how good it was. It's insane. I still feel bad for Raid, but yeah. Also, watching Raid play has been a pleasure because he is in a clan called Old School, and it really shows in the way he plays that Man at Arms fast castle build is something you used to see like 10 years ago. It's so nice to see someone still pull that off, finding some use for that. But yeah. Okay, so back to this game. We have WeanDinchester in the blue playing as the Celts, and his opponent is going to be AngelR in the red playing as the Burgundians. Alright, so both players are already going for the woodlines. It's just 2 for the time being from WeanDinchester. So we'll see if this ends up being a fast castle kind of play or not. We do have a fortified wall generation, so fast feudal plays are not really going to be viable here. So people will have to rely on... Well, I mean, unless you go for fast feudal for map control, right? But you're not going to be pushing this in feudal age. Unless you're humans with rams, I guess. Now, of these two civs, I probably do prefer Burgundians overall. Especially when you are on a 1TC situation, just because of how good that eco is. Now, don't get me wrong, Celts eco is actually busted. If they just had a better tech tree, they would be one of the top civs, most likely. But yeah. Okay, 3 on wood. It is 4. Okay, it was 4 for AngelR. So that might end up being a fast castle kind of build. Yeah, he's now getting the double BDX. Of course, as Burgundians, he can do that in the arcades. Then in Feudal Age, he's going to be able to get Boso and so on. Burgundian, I just think they are overall a good save when it comes to when TC plays, right? Because of the eco. Celts, they do have a nice infantry play, although again, with these walls, that's not going to be viable. But again, if he can get map control in Feudal Age, he is going to be fine. I mentioned that Celts have a terrible tech tree, but that starts coming into play really in Castle Age. Feudal Age, you have an amazing eco bonus. You have viable archers, you have viable infantry, you have viable scouts. So if you're going for a feudal play to get map control, they're completely fine. Then you just need to get to castle and, you know, castle drop this area, or just go siege push if you're Celts, and you should be fine. And this is a very fast uptime. But, I mean, we've seen this during the season because you start with a barracks. So it's actually easier to get a good uptime. Start with a barracks and in an extra house, so it's easier to get a fast uptime on these settings. Men-at-Arms coming in. But yeah, AngelR notices that. So yeah, WeanDinchester is just going to take down a house. Or, okay, no. He opts to go somewhere else. Ooh! Ooh! GG. Oh, good lord. Well played. Well played by WeanDinchester. Yep, you need to be careful about your king. You cannot be around when your opponent's base too much. We saw that yesterday with Haro. He basically lost his king to scouts. So yeah, you need to be careful. Yeah, he tried to come with the petard, but yeah, it was too late. King was dead. Long live the king, I guess. So yeah, WeanDinchester takes the first game. Also good reaction from him, because he was probably looking at his own militia, but he realized the king was here and he quick walled it in. So well played from WeanDinchester. And by the looks of it, yeah, AngelR was going for a fast castle kind of play. He doesn't even get to Feudal Age, he just loses into Arcade. That's amazing. Ooh, that's true tech. That's true. I think it would be too much to ask players to put that in spoilers when they post the games, right? Because imagine someone is posting and they have to specify how they died. That's... I don't think people are going to be liking that. Okay, let's load up game 2. which is going to be on Highland. Yeah, I'll make a notepad after casting. It might not be perfect for sprint 1 because I mean, Tech just mentioned the idea, but it's something we could keep in mind for sprint 2, right? We also have 3 casters this time around, so we should have more people able to keep note of that. Take note of that. Yeah, quick sets as well. Okay, so game 2, we have AngelR in the red as the Chinese, and we have WeanDinchester in the blue playing as the Georgians. And the 2 kings, they were fighting over a sheep. Of course, it was mostly a verbal fight because they cannot attack each other. But look at this. AngelR is coming forward with the villager, trying to lame the boar. But WeanDinchester is going to see that. He's going to block the vill. AngelR wasted the pattern on the king, but yeah, now the king can just use nature. Yeah. Gaia is your best ally. Let's go. Okay, no, the boar gets... Okay, yeah, it gets reset. But he's going again for... No, I think you just walk home with this vill, right? Especially when there's the king over here. WeanDinchester should just send a vill here to... Or not. Oh, no, because you cannot build on this. Hehe. That's amazing. I love how just adding the kings is giving so much flavor to the games. Not just for king snipes, but for stuff like this. People are going to get so mad. And look at this. AngelR is going to be trying this himself. Now, AngelR, you need to be careful. You got your king... Yeah, your king got jailed in the previous game, so you need to be careful about this. Yeah, villagers are just going to shank the king. He's going to use the healthy vill to get the boar. He's got a king and a vill to block this. Ooh. Sorry, that was loud. I'm sorry for laughing, but I mean, you should show a clip of this to anyone who gets lamed, right? That's going to be so satisfying for people who usually get lamed and hate lamers. Yeah, exactly. That was a king snipe for 2 games in a row. Also, side note, I was keeping an eye on that, but look at Dinchester's idle TC time. 0 seconds, despite all of this. That's insane. So yeah, this is not a player you want to do this kind of stuff with, too. Oh, that was amazing. I need to start using the clips thing for these streams, because we're going to have more moments like this, I feel like. But yeah, so WeanDinchester takes the set 2-0. In a convincing way, can we say? Oh, thank you, Otter. Perfect. So that was a quick one. Yeah, it's not even an hour and a half of streaming. Let me see if I can pull up a fourth set for today. I was not planning on casting for too long because I have to play my own set later on. But yeah, we got time for another one. Okay, who could we do? Well, Otter is in chat, so we could do a Otter set. Let's see. Oh, it's Otter against Raven. Oh yeah, I'm casting this one. Just getting the drafts here. Raven and Otter. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, here it is. Let me edit the title as well. Well, we already did the other ones, so let's just go for this. Raven. Okay, let's get the games in the folder and we can go straight into it. Okay, here we are. So fourth set for today. We have the TheOtterOne against Raven, or xRavyn. I don't know what he prefers to be called like. Let's talk about the players. So Raven, he is a player from Armenia. He's actually number 2 in Armenia. Currently sitting at 1578, but he has been higher. I think he just tends to have periods of time where he just doesn't play the game. He played in season 1 of the tournament. I think he disappeared for like 5 seasons and came back either last season or the one before that. I was actually very happy to see him back because I think he's a very interesting player to cast. And his opponent is going to be Otter, aka the TheOtterOne, who is in chat at the moment. Elo-wise, with the current rating, they're quite similar. Otter has a slightly lower highest elo, but that should not be too much of an issue because Otter has played in basically every season except for season 2. Because that was played on standard maps. So experience-wise, Otter is going to be ahead, I think. Especially because he also tends to host free-for-alls and stuff like that. So he is used to crazy settings. So let's look at the maps. We have Island. So this was played in round 2. And for our second game, we're going to have Archipelago, which I'm happy to see because I love that map. I think it can be very, very interesting on these settings. So I'm curious to see how these two players are going to be playing that. As for civs, we got the usual 5 bans. So Romans, Mongols, Franks, Lithuanians, and Khmer. Raven went on to ban Goths and Berbers, whereas Otter banned Japanese and Armenians. Makes sense with Archipelago in the map pool. Raven, after getting his Georgians pick sniped, was left with Byzantines, Persians, and Malians. Whereas Otter, after getting his Dravidian snipe, was left with Saracens, Bohemians, and Sicilians. So pretty nice draft overall. I don't see a proper water sieve from Raven for Archipelago. I mean, sure. People will say, well, you got Byzantines. Yeah, no, don't play fires on Archipelago. It's not viable. But yeah, whereas Otter, he has Saracens, which can work as a good water sieve. He has Sicilians, which in my book are quite a good landing sieve, if you will. And Bohemians, you can play them basically everywhere. Okay, so let me load up the first game and we can jump straight into that. I would love to know why DE is always so slow at loading replays, or rather in loading the saved games and replays list. I'm missing some games. Okay, there we go. Okay, for some reason it was not loading the games from after August. Okay, let me change scene because I'm not showing that. Okay, here we are. So game 1, Otter in the yellow playing as the Saracens, and Raven in the red playing as the Byzantines. We have Highlands with the new water skin, which is supposed to represent the Yellow River in China. So this was added with the latest DLC. We have a generation where the crossings are actually sailable, so ships will be able to go through that. So no matter where you put your dock, you're always going to be able to sail from one side of the river to the other. Let's look at the... Okay, yeah, we have fortified walls from both players. Now, Raven, being Byzantines, he's going to have more HP on his tower, as you can see, and on his walls. Now, I don't think this makes too much of a difference when you get fortified walls, because, well, people are just going to be castle dropping this, right? But if this were palisades, then I think it would make a bigger difference. But yeah. So Otter just using the king to push deers. Oh, pushing these deers is going to be a pain for Raven. I hate when your deers spawn close to a boar, because the boar is going to scare them away as well. So it actually makes it harder for you to push them. But yeah, seems to be able to do that. Okay, so water-wise, in this situation I do prefer Byzantines because this tends to be more of a fire ship map than a galley map. I guess if you docked here, knowing that your opponent generally docks over here or here, you could maybe justify galleys because you would have more space to maneuver. But yeah, generally speaking, I think people would just prefer to go fires here. Raven already going for that fish. Tries to get the boar, but yeah, boars do not follow nowadays. You have to go back to the way it used to be on Vubli, where you have to hit them 2 times, basically. Now, Raven went for the dock, but he's not going to have enough wood for a fishing ship straight away. Okay, no, he will, but he'll also need some for a house. Otherwise, he's going to get housed. Otter... Oh, he's ignoring the water. Okay. I like this. I think... I was wondering when people would start doing this. So, Saracens, because of the market bonus, you can do some very, very crazy uptimes and crazy builds if you wanted to. So I think that's what we're going to be seeing from Otter. I don't think he's going to ever go to water. He's just going to go up maybe 20+2 villagers and just market abuse his way up to castle. Buy a castle and just drop it on Raven's tower. Which could be a problem for Raven because he seems to be going for a more standard approach. Now, he was a bit unfortunate here because You oftentimes have a generation here on Highland where you do not have deep fish here in the middle. And sometimes even if you have deep fish, it tends to be like 1 square. I think there's more fish on rivers than there is on Highland. Yep, there we go. Otter is up. I wouldn't be too surprised if he didn't even go for gold and just went straight for stone. You sell some of that to get your way up to castle, and then you keep mining stone and until you get enough for a castle, and yeah, you just drop it on your opponent's face. And this is especially good play when you're playing on a map like this, right? Because especially when the monument gives you vision. So Otter knows there's a dock from his opponent, so it's most likely going to be standard feudalist play from him with fires and whatnot. So really all he needs to be careful about is that xRavyn does not smell what Otter is going to be doing, because if it does, he might have a demo already here, and realistically Otter's plan could be folded by just 1 demo. But that's really the only thing he needs to be worrying about. Also, he knows what the vision on the monument is like, so he could even be sneaky with the veils, right? If it just goes like this, and xRavyn will never know what hit him before, even until it does. Okay, sending more to wood. Okay, xRavyn. Yeah, he should know there's no dock from Otter. So he's going to be thinking, something's off, something's fishy. And that's not the river. Yeah, he's going to explore. He's going to wall this one up. Realistically though, these need to be stone walls, right? Because let's say he completes the wall. Sure, okay. Otter gets here with 20 vills. He takes down 1 palisade. xRavyn is not going to be able to react on time because, well, the vill is going to just go back. Otter is through with 20 vills, drops a castle here. What do you do? Well, aside from crying. Oh, yeah, you also have a petard, so yeah, that just... Yeah, I keep forgetting about the petard. Maybe that's because people tend to just waste it. Yeah, even stone walls. If these were... Okay, yeah, okay, buildings are a different matter, but then you cannot build over that piece of palisade. Otter... Yeah, he doesn't have enough stone yet, but he's going to get there by the time the vills are over there. It's 13... Okay, xRavyn knows this. He does have archers, but no fletching. This is still open, but Otter should be bringing... Ooh, okay, Otter is keeping the petard over here. xRavyn needs to go and... Okay, no, too late. Otter needs to see this vill and attack it before it hits the... Oh. And there's 2 wolves as well. Yeah, this might be... This might spell trouble for... Okay, no, he's fine, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, just better this side. Oh, he attacked the house. That's painful. Uh... I don't think he's going to be fine anymore. If he breaks through... Okay, no, no, no. He's going to break through. He's fine. He's fine. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Gate is going to be taken down by the vills. Attack the gate. Yeah, exactly. Okay, these vills will go down. Do we have fletching in? Oh, we do. That's not good. Oh, this is going to be so close. Okay, no, I think Raven is fine. Yeah. Is he? He's not attacking that Vil. They're all... Raven is fine. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, but Raven sees that, so he's got a Vil here. This Vil is a hero. And there's wolves as well. Yeah. Yeah, no, too many archers. Yeah, Otter is dead. Yeah, exactly. If more Vils had been on the castle at the start, this goes up 100%. So Otter is, yeah, with 0 Vils, no food, and Raven takes the GG. Sorry, takes the game, not the GG. But yeah, let me go back real quick. So I think there were 2 things which killed Otter in this situation. The first one is that the villagers were separated from each other instead of being in a single group. And the second one is that the Pl0tterr was over there. I think if you're going forward like that, you need to bring your Pl0tterr immediately. And, well, you can also add the fact that even with all of that, the Pl0tterr hit the house instead of the palisade. If the Pl0tterr hits the palisade, then Otter is through way faster with those Vils and the castle goes up. The wolves did not help as well. There were so many wolves, actually. Because there were these starting too, and then he brought many more with his other Vils. Yeah, I think even without the wolves, he would without the wolves would have that. That's the percentage, because it's not just time that you wasted on the wolves, it's also HP that you wasted on the wolves, making it easier for the archers to pick you off, especially at the start when they had no fletching. Yeah. Yeah, also I can see that, but I mean, just make sure that you have the stone and then you send everything. Because, sure, there's going to be a single layer of walls, but that's what you have your Pl0tterr for, right? Raven went for the second layer the moment he saw your Vils. So if he doesn't see any Vils, he's not going for that second layer, meaning that you get through. So, I don't know. Still, I think it would have been fine if your villagers had been together from the start with the Pl0tterr. But yeah, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Anyway, let's go. Game 2. which is going to be on Archipelago. Okay, so Archipelago, we have Persians from xRavyn in the blue, and Sicilians from Otter in the teal. And look at this, you are so close to your opponent's island. Well, your opponent's island with the tower. Now this kind of looks crossable, but it is not. You cannot walk on this. Oh, and the wolf spawned into the tower's range, so it got attacked. Okay, so let's talk civs. I mentioned that I like the Sicilians for what's it called? Landing. That's mainly because, well, they build fortifications faster, right? That applies to the castle. Well, they start with stone, so that helps with castle drops because you have to mine for less stone. But also, this is a nice bonus if you're going for landings. So if you, especially on these settings, if you're going for a build where you just go fast castle for a castle drop, and you need to also have a dock with that, and a transport ship, yeah, that Sicilian bonus is going to help. Now, of course, you need to be careful about galleys from your opponent, because if he sinks your transport with the vessels in it, well, it's game over. But yeah, Sicilians can be a great save for this. Now, Persians, I know at the start when I was looking at the drafts I mentioned that xRavyn does not have a proper water sieve. But at the end of the day, on these settings you're not getting to Imperial, right? You're not getting to Imperial on this map, so Persians are fine, right? Their water is bad in Imperial, but Castle Age, it's actually pretty solid. Especially with the faster working docks. So yeah, I take back what I said at the start. They can be an amazing civ for this one. And let's see if Otter can take this game and make a castle drop work. Okay, he's going for the dock now. I mean, yeah, sure. If you're going for a fast castle, you might as well incorporate some fish in that. It's going to be helpful. Actually, there's not a lot of fish on this map, mostly because there are these two islands. Well, there are these two islands with the towers and the two making the monument, with taking up so much space. And I'm actually curious. I haven't loaded this map in the editor that much, but there are scripts for Archipelago where sometimes you're actually connected to your opponent. Right? Sometimes this and this will be connected, or this and this. So you can actually get to your opponent's base by land. Now, I don't know which script was used as a base for this one. Okay, it's never going to be the case here. Okay, perfect, perfect. That's good to know. Yeah, exactly, would be an issue, because the connections, they do happen on one side, not the other. So let's say if this was connected, it would be an advantage for Otter. And if this was connected, it would be an advantage for xRavyn. So yeah, that would not be balanced. Okay, we have Feudal from both players. Raven is actually going up 21 vills. That's not your standard Feudal water build, but I guess he's Persians, so he can afford to have a couple of vills more than needed. He's also having trouble with this tier. It just does not want to go to the TC. Okay, Otter already making the transport. Oh, actually, yeah, I thought about this as well. So, we saw in one of the previous sets, Metalmania going for a tower rush on the tower. With Sicilians, you get 50 stone, you can get 2 dungeons here. And that would be amazing. But yeah, these are actually palisades, so yeah, Otter is just like, okay, I'm going to take down the palisades and then kill the tower with the bills. Now he sent some. Okay, yeah, he's going for the dungeon as support. That's nice. He hasn't attacked anything yet. So Raven, he probably doesn't know about this. He's not making any transport, so he should not. Yeah, just put the weak vills in the tower, in the dungeon. Yeah. Yeah, you can add sergeants. That's insane. He steers. Oh yeah, your deer weren't takeable. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's the transport from Raven. But I think it's going to be too late. Now, Otter needs to shift the tower from attacking the palisade to attacking the tower or this other palisade. And now... yeah, once the palisade goes down, he can just send the vills to the tower, to the dungeon, sorry, and attack the tower with the Pl0tterG. Actually, they got a very low HP tower generation here. 70-79, that's very low. The dungeon is still attacking the palisades though. This could be trouble for Otter, because Raven is coming with villagers. Otter forgot about the Pl0tterG. Now villagers are not going to be the end of the world, because we got sergeants from Otter, and these guys can easily kill villagers. And now Otter is sending the Pl0tterG. Ooh. If the Pl0tterG hits... no! No, there's a weak one. Otter, attack the weak one! Attack the weak one! Oh... yeah... yeah, Raven survives this. And yeah, he took water. So Otter is not going to be able to send more. Wait, what do you mean? So you do not see the fire on the palisades? So that's why you were not attacking this one? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Sergeant will eventually get taken down by the... Sergeant will get taken by the what's it called? By the archer. Yeah, we got fletching from Otter, so he's going to be able to pick off the vills, repairing the tower. So this is still fine to some degree. We still have villagers in the tower. Raven cannot repair this. He's 1 minute away from Castle Age. So if we can take down the tower before knights come out... Thing is, we're not using the petard. I think that's the biggest issue here. Is it not? I mean, maybe instead of attacking the tower with the donjon, you attack the walls. You take them down, and then you rush the petard at the right time. On the tower, you take down the palisades with the donjon. If he sends vills to build the palisades, you can just attack the vills with the donjon, so he's going to be wasting vills. And then you rush the petard to the tower. No, Maxi. The islands are not connected. They look like they're connected, but they're not. You need a transport to get here. So Otter's only option to get here with a ship would be to build a dungeon on the shoreline, I guess. Build a dock, make a transport, and send more vills. But that's a lot of investment. Yeah, there's going to be siege, there's going to be knights from Raven. Oh, this one was left open. So they had 3 options. Dungeons. Why did they stop attacking there? That was weird. Now this rhyme might not be enough. Yeah, jump back into the dungeon. No, you cannot waste vills like this. Ooh. No. Yeah. That's GG. Yeah, I mean, if Otter was up to castle, then maybe. Because again, you drop a castle or dungeon here on the shoreline. Make a transport, you get here. And you drop castle. But yeah. Well, Maxi, you get... At the end of the draft, there are three maps, which were not discarded. And one is randomly chosen from those 3. So yeah. So let's say I wanted to play this one and I left it open. I'm still not guaranteed that I'll be able to play it, even if my opponent does not ban it. Yeah, I mean, Raven should go for the tower now. Was the original plan fast castle, or was this the original plan? Oh, okay. He's not going for the tower. He's going for Otter's eco, okay. Okay, Otter is up to castle. He had to sell his soul, though. Yeah, he sold stone. Yeah, I don't know. So, on paper, it sounds better, right? To just do a castle drop. With the sustenance, it's just the timing. Which could be difficult to get. Mostly because you get that transport later on. So there's a bigger chance that your opponent denies that transport if you went for water control. So maybe you would have to transport your vills early on, even before you click up to castle. You just hide them here. And then eventually you go for a castle. I don't know. Well, next, if you want to see a human ramp push, you should go and watch Shikso against Raid. Game 1. Game 2 was even better, but yeah, Game 1 we had some humans. By the way, go read some of the latest patch notes. And they said, oh, we made it easier to build buildings when units are standing on them. No, they didn't. Sure, animals now move faster, but units still stand still on the damned foundations. Yeah, exactly. It became even worse with the units. Animals now, they move out of the way, thankfully. But units, they just stand still. Oh wait, did Raven ping? Yeah. Wait, did we lose? Did we miss something? Oh, I missed this. Yeah, because I was criticizing the devs. Oh, oh, ah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, Otter calls the GG. And Raven takes this 2-0. And again, just like game 1, I think Otter actually had a shot here, right? So, yeah, here. Breakthrough. You take down the palisade, right? Yeah, I think now you just take these veils, you run back to the dungeon, and you send the Pl0tter to attack the fortified tower. I think if you do that, you actually win the game, because this tower has 779 HP. I think the Pl0tter is going to take, what, 500? Yeah. So... Also, I think the Pl0tter, if it hits at the right angle, it also destroys another palisade, so then you can just rush with the remaining vills and get more vills on that tower instead of just 2. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, they were definitely closer games. Again, I think you were very close to winning in both of them. Game 1 was just a matter of, you know, bad luck with the wolves and the villagers just having so much distance between them. And here it was just a matter of not using the Pl0tter. And I mean, even without using the Pl0tter, you still had like 2 dungeons at one point. I think you still had a chance overall. So yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, so that's going to be all for today. Yeah, I'm going to end it here. I do not see anyone I could be... Well, we could raid AngelR, I guess. Yeah, the tower regenerates. Not by much, but it does. Jambo, is that the... complete... Oh, WeanDinchester is live? Really? Why is he not showing to me? Wait, I thought I was following WeanDinchester. Huh? I think WeanDinchester casts in Russian though, so maybe Genoese is a better choice here. Unless you all can speak Russian. No, I thought I was following him. I do not know what's happening. Anyway, that's going to be all. Thank you for joining. See you next time. Have a good one. Oh, also, I'm going to play lore deck later today. I might try to stream that. Hopefully my connection will hold. But yeah, we'll see. Until then, bye-bye.